Hey, welcome back for another complex combo with your girl, Sonia B. That's me. I wanted to jump on here today. I often peruse through YouTube just to check out what other people are talking about, what's going on in the world. And I ran across this interesting video by this gentleman by the name of Darius M. He had a very interesting concept, and what caught my attention was the title of this video. And the title of this video was simply, ask your woman this question, and depending on her answer, you may need to dump her. I was like, well, what could this question be, right? He started his video out by making a very pointed analogy that men should run their relationships much like a Fortune 500 company. So that statement alone leads me to believe his stance is that men are the head and they are in fact in charge of the whole dynamic of the relationship. I didn't get an attitude. I wanted to hear him out. What was his point, right? As a Fortune 500 company, he posed the question to men listening to his video. If you're an average worker, you don't decide one day you come into your job and you're going to clock in and become a CEO. You just don't decide, today I'm going to do the job of a CEO. No, that would be death to whatever your job is. So nobody in their right mind would do that. Decide, today I'm going to come in and act as a CEO instead of an individual contributor, if that is in fact your job. I get that. So he related that to women. That too many women today are coming into relationships trying to run it, wanting to be masculine, wanting to be the dominant, wanting to make the decisions, and that men, quite frankly, should stop. He also said that women's primary responsibility or role in life is to find a guy who's inexperienced, so that she could manipulate him to get whatever she wants. And then at some point, after manipulating him to a point where he pretty much is just her yes man, she'll lose respect for him and dump him and move on to the next. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we are beyond barbaric days, right? And I thought it was more the man that was the barbarian, not the woman. But I may be wrong. I'm not quite sure I know many women who move like that. So, I don't know many women who move like that, but I can't speak on the pool of women that he's choosing to fish from. Another thing he said is that just in relationships, one party is doing something they aren't supposed to do, and the other person is allowing it. So, meaning that men today are taking a more submissive role and letting women do these things that they're not supposed to do, such as lead a relationship. I can't speak to all of those relationships. I can only draw on my own personal experience. And I get it, women don't want a man that they can run over. Some women do, but I can speak for myself. I don't want a man that I can run over. So it was a moot point to me. But I wanted to draw your attention to his statement that a relationship should be ran like a Fortune 500 company. Now follow me, if you will. Because I've worked in Fortune 500 companies for a good portion of my career, I think I have somewhat of an understanding of the different roles of a CEO, CIO, CFO, etc. So we'll use the CEO and the CIO as an example in my story. So follow me. If the man is supposed to be the CEO of an organization, first thing I think about, what are some of the characteristics of a CEO? A CEO has the ability to learn from the past, so they've had some bad relationships, but they don't carry that baggage into the next. They have strong communication skills, so they have the ability to speak on things that are working and not working in their current relationship. They know how to build relationships. Let's see. A good CEO has he's a realistic optimistic person. He's understanding, has listening skills, willingness to take calculated risks, knows how to read people and adapt when necessary, their management style. Those are just a few traits of a good CEO in order for them to be a good leader, right? Now, in my story, the woman takes the role of a CIO, okay? Your Chief Information Officer. Now, a company really can't exist without a good CEO. And a good technology-driven organization can't move forward without a strong CIO. Now, CEOs and CIOs can't exist independently. They have to have a strong working relationship, right? So if a relationship is like a Fortune 500 company, your CEO and CIO must have a strong working relationship, and they both have to be committed to a common goal. Notice the CEO isn't driving all decisions based on his or her own mindset, goals, ideas. There's a board, okay? And there's a whole C-suite of individuals who contribute to the decisions that are made. But we're talking about the CEO and the CIO, the male and the female. They have to exist. And they have to have a strong working relationship. And they both have to be committed to a common goal. And that, I would assume, would be moving the relationship forward. That kind of drives your relationship or said organization into in alignment, right? But they both share responsibility when it comes to making changes. So Darius M. made several pointed statements in his video, and one being that a woman needs to know her role. So he asked men, ask your woman or the women in your life, what is their role? Now, based on her response, you may need to dump her. But I want to go back to what is a good CEO? A good CEO takes calculated risk. So he may have a CIO that may not initially be on board with every idea, every goal, every mission, every vision that he has. But if you take calculated risk, you'll hire someone who might challenge you a little bit so that you two can get in tune. There's something you can learn from her, there's something she can learn from you. But he said that a woman needs to know her role. And he never really elaborated on what her role was, but what he did say was that for the man, that his role is to impute knowledge to the woman. I don't know about you, but that sounds like the woman must be dumb if he needs to impute knowledge. I think a woman, a good strong woman or a good CIO should come with an already strong core set of knowledge. Just my thought. That a man should know his worth and know that he's worth more than she is, and know that he's more creative than she is, and that he's wiser than she is. Now, men, this question is for you. I'm not going to ask you to ask yourself or your woman what her role is in the relationship, but more so, do you want a dummy? Do you want a woman who thinks of herself as less than you? Is that the type of woman that you want in your life? Would that make a good, strong CIO? Do you want someone who thinks less of herself, that puts you physically, mentally, and spiritually below you? I don't think that makes for a strong alignment. I don't think that would move your organization forward in unison. This video that Darius put out made me really think. You know, if I was asked that question, what is my role in a relationship? Now, he also glossed over the Bible and the woman being submissive to the man, but let's be clear here. They were talking about the roles of husband and wife. We're simply talking about men and women dating. I am strongly opposed to a woman being in a working relationship, not a marriage, a working relationship, giving that man all the marital benefits of being 100% submissive and following his lead. I think that is something that is earned, not instantly given, and vice versa. But yeah, man, the question to you, do you want a dumb woman? And if we're going to look at relationships like business, I thought you never mix business with pleasure. So that in itself is a contradiction. But if you did run your relationship like a Fortune 500 company, are you going to be the CEO, CIO, CFO of your own organization? Or are you going to welcome in somebody that has an equal set of skills? Maybe not the same skills, but equal in strength to work this organization with you? That's just my question. I would love to hear your comments below. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so by clicking subscribe. If you have subscribed to my channel, I appreciate each and every one of you. Please, please, please leave your comments below, and we can respectfully agree right off the bat to disagree. You may not agree that a woman holds a position as a CIO to her man's CEO. Maybe you feel like he should be a CEO on his own and he doesn't need any other C-levels to run the organization / relationship. But I'd like to hear your comments below. Until next time, it's your girl.